Hello everyone. Today we are going to see a switching technique in computer networking. Switching in computer network helps in deciding the best route for data transmission if there are multiple paths in the network. Okay, if there is a large network available where to transfer any data from one machine or one source to the destination, if we have multiple paths, then to find out the best path and to transmit the data, we use the switching mechanism or switching techniques. Okay, for example, internet is a very large network, right? So to transfer any data from one to another, we have a lot of ways. So that so in that case we can choose a best path to transfer the data from source to the destination. So it should allow, we have to choose a data like we have to choose a method like it should provide a one-to-one communication, right? So switching method consists of the, three techniques or three methods are available in the switching. One is circuit switching, another is packet switching, and the third one is the message switching. Whereas packet switching is again divided into the two approaches. One is datagram switching, and the another one is virtual circuit switching. We will see one by one how this technique works and how the path will be decided in this method. We will start with the circuit switching. A dedicated path is established between the sender and the receiver. In this circuit switching, a dedicated path, a fixed path will be available between the sender and the receiver. Okay, before the data transfer, a connection will be established first. This is the very important part regarding the circuit switching, that if any sender wants to transmit the data to any receiver, then one fixed path will be decided in between the sender and the receiver, and once the connection is established between the both, then and then only the data will be transmitted from sender to the receiver. For example, a telephone network, it is a best example in the circuit switching. How we handle the telephone? We first of all dial to the number, right? Whoever suppose any caller is there, he will first of all receive, he will just first of all dial the number, then the connection will be established, right? So if the receiver will receive the phone, then and then only the communication will happen. That means the data will be transferred, right? That means there are total three phases in circuit switching. The first one is the connection establishment, second is the data transfer, and the third one is the connection disconnection. If you can see the phases also, if once the connection is established, then and then only the data will be transferred, and after the data transmission, that particular connection will be disconnected. Okay, that means no any another sender or receiver, no any another entity can use the same path to transmit the data. So these three phases are very important in circuit switching. By using these three phases only, the data will be transmitted from sender to the receiver. Now, by using this diagram, we can also analyze. Let us analyze this by using one example. If you can see this diagram, there are some nodes A, B, C, D. Okay, if we want to transmit the data from this A device to this C device, then before transmitting the data, the path will be analyzed, and one path will be predefined. Here, in this case, from A to this dashed line is there in between this A to C. By using this path, the data will be transmitted. First of all, the connection will be established, then the data will be transmitted, and then after that, the connection will be removed. Okay, and in between, in the meanwhile, no any another device, for example, this D device or any another device or any two devices cannot communicate or cannot use this same link to transmit the data. This is the main part regarding circuit switching. Okay. Now, the second part is, or the second type of the switching technique is the message switching. Message switching uses the mechanism of store and forward mechanism. What is the store and forward mechanism? In this, the message is transferred as a complete unit and forwarded using store and forward mechanism at the intermediary node. Okay, if you don't understand this, if you found this difficult, if the statement is difficult, I will explain in brief. What it is saying, message is transferred as a complete unit. For example, suppose any A sender wants to transmit the data to the B. Okay, then if that message is message is too large, then that message will be divided into the different partition. Okay, and every single partition of that message will be transferred to the next intermediate node. Okay, and one by one that entire unit will be transmitted. But what will happen with the intermediate node? That intermediate node will receive every unit of that complete message. It will store every unit to itself till the last partition of that message will receive to that intermediate node. Once the last unit will be received, then and then only entire message will be forwarded again to the next intermediate node or to the final destination. So this is how the message switching technique used. Okay, so because of the nature of store and the forward mechanism, this is not suited for the streaming media and real-time applications. Because we cannot wait till the entire packets will come and then it will be transmitted. Then what will happen? Till the time the entire link will be we can say reserved, right? And which is not the concept of message switching. So that is why real-time applications and streaming media is not suited for this message switching technique. Now, if we'll see this example, you will understood in better way how the message switching technique use. Suppose the source machine have a message, okay, and it has a large message. Then that particular message will be divided into the parts, divided into the chunks, and every chunk will be transmitted one by one. Okay. Now, whenever this chunk will be received by this intermediate router or this intermediate node, it will just receive all the chunks, it will store to itself, and then once all the units will be received, then and then only it will be forwarded to the next intermediate node. This intermediate node or the router will repeat the same thing. It will receive all the chunks, and once they receive, it will be forwarded to the next one. It will do the same thing, and then finally the entire message will be transmitted to the destination. So on the basis of this technique, this message switching technique works. Okay. Now the next switching technique, that is packet switching. Now, if we talk about the internet is based upon the packet switching network. It works on depend upon the packet switching technique. Okay. In this switching technique, the message is broken into the individual chunks, which is called as a packets. Each packet is sent individually. Now, each packet will have source and destination IP address with the sequence number of that message. This sequence number will help the receiver to reorder the packets, detect missing packets, and to send the acknowledgement. Fine. Now, what is happening in this technique? In this technique also, suppose a sender wants to transmit the data to the receiver which is having the large length. Then that message will be divided into the parts, and that every part will be called as a packet. Now that every packet will be transmitted individually from sender to the receiver. Now this is what the basic difference between the message switching and the packet switching. What is happening in message switching? The intermediary node will be receiving all the chunks, all the partitions, and then only it will be transmitted to the next one. But in this packet switching, as and when the intermediary node receiving the individual packet, then it will be transmitting directly. It is not waiting for the next one to come, right? As and when it will receive, it will just forward that particular packet to the next intermediary node. This is the basic difference between message switching and the packet switching. So each packet will be sent individually. Okay, and every packet will have some type of the information. Now which information? Source and the destination IP address will be provided on that every packet, as well as along with that we have a sequence number. Why the sequence number? Because at receiver side the every packet will be sent individually, right? So it may be possible that the first packet will be received first, but after first, second will not receive. After first, it may possible that fifth packet will receive. Okay, so to rearrange or to reorder that every packet at the receiver side, a sequence number will be provided on every packet, right? So this sequence number will help the receiver to reorder the packets, as I have already explained, to reorder the packets, then to detect the missing packets. Suppose the receiver has received first, third, second, and the fifth packet. Okay, but it doesn't receive the fourth packet though, so it will identify the fourth is not received. So the fourth, if the fourth is not received, that means the acknowledgement from the receiver to the sender about that four will not be transmitted. If the acknowledgement will not be received by the sender, then it will retransmit that particular fourth packet for the next time, for one more time. Okay, so by using the sequence number to reorder the packet, detect missing packets, and to send the acknowledgement. So for these three functions, it will help to the receiver. So this is what the packet switching is. Okay, in this packet switching, we have two parts: datagram and virtual circuit. There are two techniques, there are two we can say approaches in this packet switching: datagram switching and the virtual circuit switching. Then in datagram packet switching, what is happening? Datagram packet switching is also known as the connection-less switching. Each independent entity is called as a datagram. Datagram contains destination information and the intermediary devices. Using this information, it uses to forward the datagram to right destination. Okay, and in this, the path is not fixed. Intermediate nodes take the routing decisions to forward the packets. The same thing is applying here. The difference is that the basic concept is, I have already explained about the packet switching. Okay, but there are two partitions. One is the datagram and another one is the virtual circuit. Okay, now what is happening in this datagram means connection less switching, that every or individual chunk or the packet, that every individual chunk is called as datagram here. If we are using the connection less switching, then that individual chunk will be called as a datagram here. So every independent entity is called datagram, and each independent datagram will be transmitted individually, and with that every datagram, it will consist of destination address and the source address, as I have already explained in the previous slide. Okay, now by using this information, ये जो destination information is available in a source and the destination information available with the sequence number, the intermediary router will use this information to forward to that particular datagram to the next intermediary node. Okay, now who decides the path? Whoever the intermediary node is there, depend upon the current situation, which path is best to transmit this particular datagram to the next one. So that individual router or the intermediary node will decide by using which path I have to transmit this datagram. Okay, you can see this diagram to understand the datagram packet switching. What is happening in this? See, 4 nodes are available from which data is transmitting from A to the X node. Okay, now A consists of the data which is having the large size. So that particular message is divided into the chunks, and this individual chunk is called as the datagram. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the sequence number which is placed on this entire or individual datagram. Now you can see here, while it is transmitting through the network, this first first datagram has taken this route. Okay, through this route it is going, but after this, the second has decided to go from here. Okay, second has decided this link. Now after that, the third datagram will come. Now third is again going by this route. Fine, and the fourth one has taken this route. Okay, now what is happening after this? The first is received by this node. Now he has decided to transfer this datagram by using this link, not by using this link. And whenever it will receive the third one, it has decided to transmit this route. So that means every individual datagram will be transmitted by using different links, or it may possible that they may use the same link. Okay, the path will be defined by or decided by this intermediary node, depend upon the current situation or the current traffic of the signal, current traffic of the network. Okay, so because of this nature, what is happening at the receiver side, it may possible that any packet will arrive at any time. Here, as you can see, the first it is received the first datagram, then the fourth and the third and the two. but it doesn't affect at the receiver side. What it will do, it will just reorder by using the sequence number. The message will be reordered at the receiver side. Okay. Now this is what the datagram packet switching is. Now virtual circuit packet switching. This is also known as connection oriented switching. In previous switching technique, we have seen connection less switching. Here connection oriented switching is there. In this case of virtual circuit switching, a pre-planned route is established before messages are sent. By using a virtual circuit identifier, one virtual circuit identifier will be always available, and that will decide which path to decide, and that will be predefined. A logical link will be created, okay, and that will be connection oriented. A call request and the call accept packets are used to establish the connection between the sender and the receiver. Like in the first packet technique, that is the circuit switching, where the connection establishment will be there, and then only the data will be transmitted. But here, logically, we are deciding only one path, and through that path only, every individual packet will be transmitted. Okay. So in this approach, the path is fixed for the duration of a logical connection. Now here you can see the diagram for virtual circuit packet switching. From this source machine to this receiver machine, we have to transmit the data, and this dotted line is showing the virtual line or a logical line which is established or which is created between the source and the destination, and by using the same link only, every individual packet will be transmitted from source to the destination, which is called as a virtual circuit packet switching technique. Okay, so I hope you understood all the switching techniques. We will just revise all the types, or which are the types present in the switching method. Switching method is what? By using this method, the best suited path between the sender and the receiver will be decided. If we have a large network and we have multiple paths between the sender and the receiver, then which path to decide will be decided by any one of the switching method. There are three switching methods are available: circuit switching, packet switching, and the message switching. Whereas packet switching consists of two approaches: datagram switching and virtual circuit switching. Datagram is connectionless and virtual circuit is connection oriented. I hope you have cleared the switching method techniques. Thank you so much.